If it bothers the bear, I'm assuming the bear will tell me. I need to pop in my monster. So what happened at the end of the last episode? There's oh, the muffler, right. The piece of paper in the muffler. Trials always like this with you. No. Pretty much. Except today we're swimming in quicksand. So what happened to your sister anyway? Apparently she got called off to the judge's chambers. What's something to do with that piece of cloth? So we return this trial around, right? Our only weapon, a tiny insignificant piece of cloth. I'm the one who's starting to think a tiny insignificant piece of cloth might tell the truth. Hola, partner. Ugh. I hope you're not a reoccurring character, Marshall. They say you show a red cloth to a bull, it'll fire up its temper. As they told me at least when I was a youngin'. I think I'm gonna take a look, see how the trial's going. Looks like I'm late. We've got the home ranch locked down tighter than a fort in enemy territory. Hard to slip out, huh? What's going over there anyway? All the police I've seen the last 2 days have been really on edge. Don't you got enough on your plate with worrying about other people, compadre? You're worrying about the chief prosecutor's taste in mufflers, for example. Examper. Officer Marshall? The whole muffler thing doesn't have anything to do with scarves. She wasn't even wearing a scarf. Man, that blew my fucking mind when I found out that mufflers are scarves. Me all the time. You don't say. Now, don't that just beat all? I've seen the red breeze blow at her neck many a time. I saw it that day, too. She was wearing a red muffler. At the awards ceremony that afternoon, Edgeworth was seen it too, I reckon. The photograph taken at the crime scene, she wasn't wearing a scarf. The star wasn't mistaken. Well, it's about time. Remember, partner, sometimes you gotta grab the bull by the horns. And sometimes you just gotta let that bull go where it will. Time will tell. Ugh, I have a bad feeling about this. So are we swimming in now, Mr. Wright? Shit, we're swimming in shit. Get steak sauce, I can hook you up with some fine ribs. Woo-wee! Yeah, that's what I thought mufflers were too, were car parts, but they're fucking scarves, dude. Apparently what I thought was a scarf is a muffler. A scarf is like a decorative neck cloth. And then there's... What was the last one? Scarf, muffler. And then there's another one that's like a longer muffler. Oh, shit, we're right back into court. Holy shit. I'd like to resume? The judge keeps looking over the prosecution. Fucking Edgeworth. Your face is blue, your lips are purple, and you're sweating bullets. That furrowed brow, those grinding teeth, those watery eyes. It can't be. This can't happen. Poor Edgeworth. Well then, I believe it's time we continued on with this trial. This is unacceptable. It seems our prosecutor is quite beside himself. Excuse me, knock knock? Who's there? What the fuck? What's with this guy? A strange stuffy aura seems to be filling the courtroom. Hey, the temperature rose 5.7 degrees and that man came in. Who on earth is he? He looks like a Pokemon trainer. Or like a Pokemon professor. Oh, it's you. Oh yeah, Pep. How you doing, friendo? Oh, hey. Sorry I'm late. Uji? Uji? Oh, poor no. Get ready. No, I don't. Shush. Shush. The roads are packed. It's just me. Long time no see, Uji. How you been? Swim much these days? Hello, hello. No, I've been busy. Uji? Really? Busy schmizzy. Uji? Uji. We're gonna go with Uji, my boy. You have to make time to relax. Yes, indeed. Uji seems to be his nickname for the judge. I'm afraid you're right. Very afraid. Sorry, but who are you? You're Righto. Oh my god, please don't call me that. Oh no. Thanks? Wait, did I move my phone? Did I leave my flashlight on? I need my flashlight on for so I could see my freaking computer. And I left it on. Oop. So sorry about all our little worthy giving you all that trouble. Eh? Worthy? You know, we should all go swimming together sometime. Jolly. Little worthy? Mr. Wright. You don't know the district chief of police. Chief of police? He's the top-ranking police officer in the entire district. Name's Nat. Damon Nat. Pleased to meet you, everyone. He seems nice. So, to what do you owe the honor today? It's been over 2 years since you last came to this courtroom, hasn't it? Well, it's worthy here. Look at this poor... Fucking Edgeworth. I just thought I'd help out by bringing this. Hey, that's my sister's muffler. So Miss Star wasn't just seeing things. When the crime occurred, Miss Sky really was wearing that muffler. But to think that it was stuffed into that exhaust pipe. On little Worthy's car, no less. I hate that he just stares at us. What's that, a switch knife? It's really embarrassing, even for us. What's this? It's what you call a switchblade knife. Quite perplexing, this. Chief, what kind of outfit are you running? Mr. Edgeworth. How could they miss such a vital piece of evidence? If your investigators were this lax, how do you expect us to do our job? Now, wait a minute, Worthy. I have no desire to hear your excuses. I'm telling you to wait. Or didn't you hear me? Oh, shit. Have a look at this document where it says person in charge of investigation. There's no mistaking the signature that's there. Miles Edgeworth? That's not fair. On the day of the crime, I had your head in the clouds because you got that award. I know how you feel. But you're the person in charge. I'll expect a written apology. Are you serious? Don't be too upset. We'll find a way to clean up this mess that you made. Damn, okay. It's the first time I've seen Mr. Edgeworth at a loss for words. This kind of major blunder is unlike you, Mr. Edgeworth. The court accepts this new evidence, but I'd like to ask the defense a favor first. Just to be sure, I'd like you to take a look at the blade of this knife. The blade, Your Honor? Well, I don't see why not. Could you open it up for me, I wonder? Yes, well, I think all you have to do is push the switch and... If I cut my finger, Mr. Wright, I wouldn't be able to pound my gavel anymore. If I cut my finger, I wouldn't be able to point at the people anymore. I wouldn't be able to point it at people anymore. Come on, just hurry up and open it. Ooh. Yeah, it's broken. Look at this knife blade. The tip is broken off. And this dark red stain. Blood? Found at the crime scene wrapped in the defendant's muffler. Small tag attached. This does not excuse the actions of the police department. I'd like to hear an explanation from the chief of police himself. Terribly sorry, but can I ask you to testify for us? About the split between the prosecutors and the police in this knife. Sure thing. Not a problem. Not even a little one, really. This man's scary. This knife is special, but I can't say how here. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do any investigating. A detective was killed at the police department, see? What a mess. The time of the crime, 5:15. Scary coincidence, huh? It's not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it. There was a murder at the police department? A detective? It better not be Gumshoe. Please don't be Gumshoe. Wait a second. You said 5:15. That's the exact time that Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. You have to take that up with Ray. I don't know if it bothers Ray. I don't know if Ray will tell me. I think Ray would tell me if it bothered her. But I might have something in store. We'll see. Anyway, we at the department are all flutter, you see, as you might well assume. We're in the middle of a top secret investigation. Don't tell anyone, okay? I think we understand the police department situation. Well, Mr. Wright, out. 2 detectives killed at the same time in 2 different places. I'd like to exercise my right to cross-examine the witness. Keep your questions focused on the case at hand. Let me make sure I got Discord on the right monitor. I do not. In case the bear does yell at me, I need to be able to see it. Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-dum, bum. Okay. Alright. This knife is special, but I can't say how here. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do any investigation. The detective was killed at the police department. See? What a mess. Time of the crime, 5:15. Scary coincidence, huh? It's not officially linked to this here case, so I can't say much about it. Okay, that I don't think we can question. This knife was found at the scene of our crime. I think that makes it connected to the case, don't you? See, there's a lot of things that go on in the department I can't explain. It's delicate, okay? Sorry, Righto. Maybe there's something about this knife that'll give us a clue. Let's examine the knife while we can, Righto. Evidence that links this knife to Detective Goodman. I think perhaps the pieces are falling into place. I should try presenting the piece of evidence that had me stumped all this time. So, how are things down at the department? Is it the ID number? S9. No. 67S? No. This is obviously the right one, but what do we do? Victim's memo found in the car trunk. I can't rotate it. 67S 12-2. That has to be related, right? I think that relate Goodman between this knife and Goodman. So there's the note, there's the autopsy. And his ID badge. And Wright said something that doesn't make sense to him. The note's the only thing we have that doesn't make sense, right? Objection! Don't say Your Honor. Please don't say Your Honor. That's an honest to goodness objection. This knife. This has to have something to do with the Detective Goodman case. What do you mean? This is great. Look at this tag on the knife. It reads SL-92. And this is important. Why? Over here, we also have a memo that was on the body of the victim. What's this? 6 minus 7S 12-2? Your Honor, it's upside down. The printed name of this memo looks like makes it look like it's right side up. When you turn around, what do you get? Oh. Whoever wrote this note was holding the paper upside down. It's the same thing that's written on the knife's tag. Oh well. I guess the cat's out of the bag. You win, Righto. I win? What game is this guy playing? This knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. That was a bad day for the department. Okay. Let's press that then. So this knife was stolen? Yes, but on the day of the murder. It was evidence, you say. Was it in fact a murder weapon? Nice, nice, nice. Good show, little Worthy. It was a murder weapon, as it happens. It was evidence from a case long since solved. So his knife was stolen on the day of the murder. It was found in the exhaust pipe of Edgeworth's car. Hard to think there isn't a connection there. Okay. That was a bad day for the department. We're in A shape doing your investigating. The detective was killed at the police department. See what a mess. On the same day, the detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot. Another detective was killed at the police department? That's a fact. Surprising, isn't it, Uji? I'm at a loss for words. And the perpetrator, do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact. Just arrested. That was quick. But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you could help, Righto. I suppose I could help if you need me by giving me... I suppose I could help if you help me by giving me data on your case. Oh, good one. This kid's sharp. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing and one thing only. Interesting. I feel like where is the most important part, right? Hiya, bear. How the victim was killed, when the victim died. Because just in the police station doesn't... Ray, does me wearing your glasses bother you? I want to know. Honest answer. Where the victim was found. When sounds nice, but where? No? Okay. I think I'm going to go with where. How I'm not too concerned about. Not at all? Okay. I was a little worried that it was bothering you and you wouldn't say anything, but... I just wanted to double check. It looks good on me. Everything looks good on me. You know, you say something you bother me. Yeah, I'm just making sure. Where the victim was found. So tell me, where was the victim found? Narcissistic. Well, I can't speak on where the corpse was found. But I can say the crime took place in an evidence room at the police department. The evidence room. Wait a second. I've heard of that. Didn't he mention that in his testimony just now? There's a connection between the two cases. You seem happy, Mr. Wright. Happy. Happy we just got handed our ticket to go down on this case? With a link between the two cases established, we finally have some leverage. Now we can get to Nat. Now we can get Nat to testify about the details. It's not officially linked to this case, so I can't say much about it. Okay, if we press this... Because we know it is, right? Chief, the defense's position is simply this. The connection between these two cases has already been proven. You don't say. Well, out with it, Wright. What's your connection? Yes, out with it, Mr. Wright. The connection is a place mentioned in the testimony we just heard. The knife found in the lot was stolen from the police department's evidence room. Not to mention the victim had on him the case number on the knife's evidence tag. I like how Edgeworth is helping us now. And we also know that the detective murdered at the police station was killed in the very same evidence room. Indeed, there do seem to be too many connections for it to be a coincidence. You two make a good pair. Took my men 2 days to find out what you deducted. Right here. Chief, I request that you release your information on the victim at the police department. See, that's the tricky part. That hasn't been announced yet and all. Can we get the information unofficially? Sure, why not? It's unofficial after all. What? Really? Would have guessed. I'll cooperate, but I can't reveal the name of the victim at the department, okay? You're gonna tell us a little, why not tell us everything? Oh, well, in case information, it's sticky stuff. You have to do everything properly. Oh, well, I guess I might try to get what I can out of him. I don't think gender is important. It's ID number or division, right? We have the ID number for 1, and that sticks out to me. There's no reason they would highlight that ID number, right? So we probably want the ID number. Because that would help us narrow down who exactly it is. We can go see Gumshoe after that. Okay, and how about you tell me the victim's ID number? Sure, why not? It's not like you'll be able to tell who it is from that. Of course not. You won't tell me their name after all. We keep a tight lid on ID numbers. Don't go get your hopes up. The number is... That's Goodman's ID number. He was murdered in 2 places at once? Well, that's quite long. And we have to remember these. It drives me nuts. 8, 2... No, I can't do it. You didn't even get the first number right. Well, Mr. Wright, does this tell you anything? The ID number of the police department's victims, 5842819. This tells me something. Actually, it does, Your Honor. It does. I think. Meaning? It has to be what I think it is. What does this mean? Well, let's hear what the defense has to say. You say the ID number of the detective who was murdered at the police department tells you something. What does it tell you? Witness. What is it, Mr. Wright? You're grinning like a schoolgirl on prom night. No, I got confused. And this is news? Huh? Just come out with both guns blazing like you always do. The police department, the prosecutor's office, 2 places, 2 detectives murdered at one time. Actually, I happen to have the police ID number here. Oh, is it yours? No, Your Honor. I'm a defense attorney, remember? This is the ID number of our victim, Detective Goodman. Shame on you, Righto. Personnel IDs are top secret. Detective Goodman's ID number is 5842189. And this means what exactly? Wait. That's the ID we heard from the chief earlier. That started with 82. I've forgotten. You didn't even get the first number right again. The number the chief police gave us was 5842189. Wait a second, Wright. What does this mean? That's what I want to know. The 2 numbers are identical. In other words, the detective killed in the police department evidence room was Bruce Goodman. What does our witness think about that? What do you mean the autopsy report's outdated? That only happened once. Twice? Once. Detective Goodman's our victim. He was killed at 5:15 in the underground parking lot. Let's go on, Spectral. Yeah, a Detective Bruce Goodman was also killed at the police department. In the evidence room at the exact same time. It happens in every game, does it? Actually, it's hilarious. That's impossible. So what we're saying is the same person was killed at the same time in a completely different location. No. What I want to know is why didn't I hear about this? Yes, it's top secret, fine, but I'm the prosecutor in charge of the case. Now, just wait a second, Worthy. No need to get all flustered. Your Honor, the police department has made a grave error in this case. Wait. I said wait. Oh, fuck. He's scary, dude. Or didn't you hear me? The oversight, the grave error. Mr. Edgeworth, they're yours. What? How? How dare? We informed you yesterday. I believe it was our Officer Merkins who brought you the news. Oh, yeah, I remember. We were there for that. Officer Meekins? Where have we heard that name before? Wait, yeah, we were in the office when that happened. You don't mean him. According to Meekins, you didn't accept the report. Hard to believe. But your officer, he told me. Said the report had nothing to do with the Lena Sky incident. Detective Bruce Goodman murdered in the police department evidence room. Mr. Edgeworth, the victim's name is written on the top of the report. Why didn't your officer tell me? Honestly, I'm not sure if that officer was capable of making the connection. He did seem... Wow, Emma. In any case, this is a serious error. A gross negligence on duty on your part, Worthy. But sir, you could have submitted that report this morning to the court as evidence. Then He's scary, dude. No such luck this time, Worthy. Or should I say, unworthy. What? Now, what was the second rule of evidence law? Huh? Oh, well, it's, unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on the trial. And how is this rule relevant? Normally, you submit a list of evidence to be used in the court before the trial. This report wasn't on that list. I couldn't submit this evidence until connection was proven in court. The connection was just proven by Wright over here. Good job, Wright, my boy. Huh? I was just doing my job. No. No. Poor Edgeworth is getting absolutely destroyed. It seems we've come to the end of this trial. I know you're going through a tough time, Worthy, but with all those rumors, you were even in the defendant's chair just this past December. I apologize for this terrible lack of due diligence on my part. Mr. Edgeworth, please, just give me one day. I'll get to the bottom of what happened, if it's the last thing I do. Now you better get results this time, really. Have my profound apologies, sir. Poor Edgeworth. I don't think there's ever been an error this serious in the history of this court. Holy fuck, leave the man alone. He's already dead. I will grant one further day as the prosecution has requested. Will that be sufficient, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Whatever your punishment for this time, oh my god, let me fucking monster, we need more brain power. Whatever your punishment for this is, for your sake, I hope it's not decisive. Damn, Edgeworth got friggin' raked over the coals, dude. Very well. Court is adjourned. To be continued. Need more brain cells to read. I need to download more brain RAM. I need more dedicated WAM. Mr. Wright, so what's going on with the case anyway? I'm a little confused. Huh? Well, let's see. What is going on? The victim, Detective Bruce Goodman, was stabbed to death after 5 p.m. on the 21st. He died in the prosecutor's parking lot and the police detective evidence room. What's this and the evidence room part? The prosecutor's office and the police department are 30 minutes away by car. Well, that's what we're going to find out. Or try to, at least. Alright, let's do it. I'm glad she's in good spirits, but I'm not sure if she's going to be much help with this. Don't be so sure, Mr. Wright. Look, we're in this together, right? Apparently these thick rimmed glasses of mine aren't just for show. I need thicker rimmed glasses. That way, apparently the thicker your rims, the smarter you are. I need glasses that are just rims. Oh, God, Ace. Ugh. What did he use, Ace? Come on, we're waiting. Come on, Ace. You're holding up production. You know, I really don't think we should worry about the police department murder. There wasn't even a body found there. Who cares? So was Goodman stabbed at the police department and then Edgeworth unknowingly brought him here where her sister found him? Yeah, it was only our victim who was killed in their evidence room. No biggie. Besides, my sister would never do such a thing. I know it. Hey, Fiend. You know she says they don't get along. Emma really likes her sister. It's just, we're both professionals at what we do, and I trust her. Big words from a high school student. Well, whether it was blood on the floor or not, the water in that oil drum washed it all away. Ignore the strength of my science at your own peril, Mr. Wright. Huh? What's that grin for? This situation calls for one thing, and that is luminol testing fluid. Luminol. Blood sticky stuff, you know. You can't just wash it away with a little water. Wait, is blood actually sticky? Even if you can't see it, it's still there. But wouldn't the police have already done those tests? Never trust anyone's eyes but your own, Mr. Wright. Just give it a try. Me? Why do I have to do it? I'm a minor. I can't even drink yet. We're testing for blood stains with this stuff, not drinking it. Here, look. I'll lend you these glasses. You had an extra pair of those things? Test for a blood reaction to spray the luminol on it. Psh. Press the X button to spray it on. Okay. Wipe on, wipe off. Let's find out some blood stains. I can see your eyes shining behind those glasses. So this is a blood stain? Uh-huh. It's so... Ugh. Emma, you're shaking. It's my first time seeing real blood. Scientific investigation in action. Okay, you definitely know this is a blood stain, but doesn't something strike you as odd? Scientifically speaking, of course. What's odd about this, scientifically? The amount? Because if you just got stabbed, there'd be more than that, right? The perpetrator and Detective Goodman fought here, right? Don't you think there'd be a little bit more blood? I mean, look at all the blood on the sole of the victim's shoe. It is pretty strange. If they fought here, there has to be more blood than this. Hey, Mr. Wright, I'm gonna mark up the floor plans when we find the blood. When you find a blood stain, okay? I'm pretty handy to have around, right? I liked What's Her Nuts more. I don't remember my. Yeah, this stuff's pretty handy too. I saved up my allowance to buy that. Solution used for scientific investigation finds blood traces, spray to use. We can't be sure the police will reveal all their evidence in court. Sometimes they fail to mention evidence that doesn't fit with their view of the case. Let's drag the hidden evidence out into the light of day. Feels like we're investigating crime now, doesn't it? I guess I should give this spray on anything suspicious. Oh. Hi. I wonder how that fluid of yours would react to a nice deli box. Is she gonna, like, murder me? You only trust your own eyes. Not bad, you two. This day-old deli box is on the house. Sorry, it's just that kind of lead doesn't really get in my mouth. Doesn't really get my mouth watering. You surely put me in a tight spot today. My apologies, Miss Starr, but no, it's okay. It was my fault. Oh, we know. I witnessed everything from that security room right there. But I was afraid that wouldn't sound convincing enough, you see? I was wrong to think that, and I'm sorry. Sorry, you lied on the witness stand. That's unforgivable. Isn't that like a crime? Little girl, don't forget what's important here. Even if the place I witnessed the events from was different, I still saw what I saw. The chief prosecutor's sky stabbed a man in cold blood. That testimony still stands. Yes, it is. I see. Only a crime if you get caught, but we did catch her lying. We pointed it out like immediately. I swear on my honor as a detective, she stabbed Goodman. I know this photograph is something important to tell us, but what? So you were a detective, weren't you, Miss Starr? Yes, it was a long time ago. Well, 2 years ago. No matter how hardened the criminal, when they faced me, they coughed it up. They coughed it up? They confessed. They babbled like babies. You know. I may seem like a demon sometimes, but I can be an angel too. I wouldn't doubt it. Every day I dragged the dirt out of the mouths of suspect after suspect. Before long, they called me the cough-up queen. Oh, and here I thought someone had gotten food poisoning from your lunches. And you were let go, fired? It's all because of that case. The SL9. Who? Sounds much better than JP. What's it in JP? Why do you know what S? Then is this not upside down? Full of other people's I see. The SL9 incident. It's written on that knife. And on that note. Goodman. Goodman was the head detective on that case, you know? The knife was evidence from that case, the murder weapon. It was due for transferal the very day that Goodman was killed. As I suspected. SL9 isn't over. Not yet. Do you think you could tell us more about the SL9 incident? Nope. No, she cannot. Huh, she won't talk to us. What about the photo? I could have taken that picture from the guard room. You literally couldn't have. But even I get flustered sometimes. So you went straight to the scene of the crime. A rush towards a changeling fence in an effort to stop the murder. So I took this photo, yes. In other words, 5 minutes after the crime. Those 5 minutes are the whole problem. They're the hole in my testimony, as it were. The 5 minutes weren't the problem, Miss Starr. You were lying was the problem. Listen, little girl, I've had my testimony discarded before. And I wasn't going to have it discarded again. Just like that time. Tell us what the SL's... Fuck, thank you. That incident really opened up my eyes to the truth. We're nothing to them. Disposable. 2 years ago, it was the biggest case I'd ever handled. The police and the prosecutors were desperate for decisive evidence. So they didn't solve it? On the contrary. It was solved quite cleanly. The criminal was caught and executed. Jesus. Executed. Yes, the criminal got what was coming to him. It doesn't get any clearer than that. My problem was, they never did find decisive evidence, not a shred. But the criminal was executed, right? On the basis of evidence of a sort. Made up evidence. You mean they executed someone with fabricated evidence? The best part came several months after the trial. Every detective involved with the case was dealt with. Some were demoted to patrolmen, others found themselves out of a job. And you were one of those? Myself and one other person you know well. Detective Jake Marshall. I mean, Police Department Security Detail Officer. As professional detectives, we investigated that case from every angle. Jake was particularly determined. And then it was over, and he was demoted. However, he hasn't forgotten, and neither have I. You haven't forgotten SL9? There's another side to that case, a hidden side, and that's what we're after now. And no one up in their fancy offices can stop us. There's only one reason I come to sell lunches in this accursed office. I come here to meet old friends, boyfriends that can help me investigate. many does she have anyway? Just when all the detectives on SL9 have disappeared, we find new evidence. So, Rookie. It seems like you're serious about investigating this case. Then you should take this. A Salisbury steak lunch. Oh, I haven't had a Salisbury steak in forever. That'd be good right about now. I know a certain guy who might help you if you tempt him with this treat. Time for Uber at 10 after 2 in the morning? Received from Miss Starr. Excellent for putting Officer Marshall in a good mood. Is he, are you his... Are you going out? Why do you want to know? I was just wondering what happened to him. A long time ago, when he was helping my sister do cases, he was so nice. He got along with my sister. It made me jealous. And he was nice to me, too, back then. This would have been when our Officer Marshall was a detective. But now he's so cold. Jake and I are merely cooperating on this investigation. We're putting the past to rest, as it were. Nothing more than that. I see. Thank you. Officer Jake Marshall. Hmm? Okay, we gotta look at everything again. You're supposed to know these things? Wait, Phoenix can't drive? Here's a Lushland Olympics team. How do we use our spray stuff? Or can we only use it in certain spots? Spray. This doesn't run out, does it? Hopefully. Next spray bottle required. Shit. I have to go buy more. Wait, uh-oh. I can't spray? Oh, there we go. This blood must have been from Lena. My sister's not the murderer. But she did call you, didn't she? At the time of the crime? And her right hand is bandaged. Which side are you on? There's nothing to do with taking sides. Doesn't mean that Lena's hand had blood on it. It just keeps getting worse. Okay, that doesn't count as evidence, though. Okay. I am satisfied. Let us go elsewhere. Looks like Miss Guy's in questioning. Hope the detectives aren't yelling at her. How did you kill him in two places at the same time? Can you imagine? I think my thought process would be like what people would normally go to. He got murdered at the police station and then taken to the prosecutor's office. Didn't Mr. Nat say they'd arrested a suspect in the police department murder? Okay. Everyone looks deadly serious here. Well, there was a vicious murder of a detective down at the police department. The same detective was killed at the same time in the prosecutor's lot. Let's go check out the police department crime scene. Okay, Emma. I doubt anyone wants more mysteries or dead bodies around here right now. But it doesn't look like anyone's going to help us much either. Oh, I can't go to... I gotta sneeze. Ugh. Dude. Bless you, thank you. The killer used dry ice. If you put it between the latch and the door, the room can be sealed shut. Bless, thank you. He's not writing a report, he's writing a novel. He's glued to his computer screen. Detective killed in the evidence room. Tell no one outside the police department. No, I told that old lady at the restaurant everything. Someone's gonna get demotion. The Blue Badger, the future star of the police force. Designs changed a little from the on outside. Oh well, the dancing Blue Badger trademark is still under development, you see. You have it trademarked? Absolutely, it's cutting edge stuff. Very now. I showed this doll to my daughter and she burst into tears. Don't show her the moving mock-up outside then, you'll give her nightmares. Okay. We need to find Gumshoe. You're dealing Nikkei? Nice. The new story was so... The current character has a, like a side story. And the side story is really good. It's even busier here than it was yesterday. Detectives are running around. They're so fast, they're blurring. Doesn't make sense. Detective did get killed here after all. So the evidence room, the scene of the crime. According to the pamphlet we got at the front desk. Here it is. It's like a kid in an amusement park. Oh, a real crime scene. Let's go take a look. What about the crime scene we were literally just at? Guard station. What's with the decor in this place? It's very eccentric. According to the pamphlet, this is the guard station for the evidence room. So beyond that door is the evidence room. The scene of the crime? Sure seems that way. Oh. Oh. It's those cacti. They're so prickly. It's imposing. It's hard to think straight. We can't handle the cacti. Stay out of the desert. What I want to know is if this is the guard station, where's the guard? I have a feeling I already know who he is. Wait, is that a fucking trap? Look on the floor, a lasso. Looks like it's set up to trap something. A trap here? Wait, I know. Maybe someone was trying to catch a wild bull in here, but the lasso missed. I don't think so. I thought we could trigger it and then what's his nuts would pop out. We can't look at any of his whiskey bottles. There's a security guard uniform hanging here. I don't think it's a uniform. Looks more like a costume than a uniform, honestly. Leather jacket, leather pants, leather... What was that thing called again? A punchy? A paunchy? A pinchy? I know, a poochie. Wait, maybe that wasn't it. It's a poncho, but I think I'll keep that information to myself for the time being. Yipes, these sure are prickly. Must be a real deal. I think just one big one would be sufficient. These cacti are a lot like my sister, actually. How so? Encased in a cold, rigid shell with spines protruding in every direction. Just like her. I'm not so sure I see the resemblance. It's more an attitude thing than a physical similarity. Really? My sister's a cactus. You mean like personality-wise? Or no, she's actually a cactus. Oh. The swinging door makes the place look like some kind of saloon. But it's nailed shut. You can't get in that way. Of course not. If you went through here, the cactus would fall over. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we can't be here yet, so we're still missing something. Wait, can we... Can we spray? Very well. This place is charged with fanatic energy as always. Hold on, I'm gonna finish my never mind, there's a lot left. I want to start drinking my water, but I gotta finish my monster first. One steak lunch, please. Oh, it's you. Detective Gumshoe. Now it's not time for chit-chat, pal. I'm a busy man. What I really need is a steak lunch from Lunchlick. Well, lucky you. Oh, you mean one of these? Actually, it's not for sale. I think I just heard the sound of his heart breaking. Oh, Gumshoe. Now it's not time for despair. We caught our criminal. Now we just need evidence. The criminal? You mean... You heard about the stabbing in the police department evidence room, right, pal? Yeah. Bloop, thank you for the follow. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's the biggest scandal in the hit the station in ages. Everything's all topsy-turvy. Detective Gumshoe, who was it? Listen, pal, all I know is I need me a steak lunch pronto. Standing right here talking isn't going to fill my belly. Wait, don't leave. If you want to know more, head on down to the detention center. Questioning should be over, so I figure he's down there to have a good cry. Later. He ran off to the evidence room. Well, this investigation's off to a running start. That's at Criminal Affairs, right? Are we going to know them? So I do feel better about things, a little. I mean, they caught the person who stabbed Detective Goodman, didn't they? Yeah, I guess they did. Best not to go too far down that road right now. Things will just get confusing. What was that? That's what I'm saying. Me, a perpetrator? I'd say I was perpetrated against her. That's what I'd say. He doesn't have it in him. Wait, I know who you are. Officer Meekins. So you're a guard here at the detention center? No, sir. I'm not, sir. I'm a little lost patrolman. I'm a little lost patrolman like a little lost lamb, sir. Oh, I get it. You're here to deliver a report. No, sir. How should I say this? Wait, he isn't... Is he... You, Officer Meekins, you didn't... Did you? Perpetrator Officer Meekins reporting, sir. His hands all bandaged up too, like his sister, or like her sister. No, this is an unexpected turn of events. Day of the crime. I'm a patrolman with General Affairs, sir. Ow, I can hear you just fine, Officer Meekins. I had some business that day, sir, and I went down to the evidence room, sir. The guard station in front of the room was empty, sir. So normally there's a guard at the evidence room. That's right, sir. Because the evidence is kept in the evidence room, sir. Now, the security officer was none other than Officer Marshall. Then, sir, I happened to glance at the security room monitor. That's when I saw him, sir. A suspicious person in the evidence room. A suspicious person, sir. A suspicious person. Oh. The heck is this guy doing? So what happened then? After that, sir, everything went white. I saw red. I blacked out. And when I came to, I was here in the detention center. How long were you out? Days? Might I ask, what happened to your hand? Sir, there was no one to bandage me, sir. I did what I could to wrap it up, sir. A bandage on his hand, just like in the sky. Yet another similarity between our case and between this case and the one at the prosecutor's office. First things first, tell us how you hurt your hand. Did that happen during the course of the crime? Well, you see, sir, don't you think you should just confess? But sir, but there was nothing I could do. Nothing you could do. Sir, to tell the truth, sir, when it happened, when the detective pointed that knife at me, I just hollered, sir. The next thing I knew, I was unconscious. The next thing you knew, you were... Huh? Then when I opened my eyes, I was alone in the evidence room, sir. All alone. All alone because Detective Goodman had disappeared. When I looked down, I was gushing blood from my hand, sir. The shock, the sorrow, sir. Can you imagine how I felt? The victim's body disappeared. That's some story. I don't mean to pry, but are you the perpetrator? You are the perpetrator, correct? You killed Detective Bruce Goodman in the evidence room, right? Sir, please don't look at me with that sad puppy dog eyes, sir. You had to label me as a perpetrator or victim, sir. And label me victim. I would, but you happen to be in detention and alive and well at that. Oh, yes, well, that's true, sir. I suppose you could say that. Did you know the victim, Detective Goodman? Well, sir, if I had to label him as a stranger or a total stranger, I'd say he heavily leans on the total stranger side. So you didn't know him. Sir, I work at a tiny department devoid of light or other creatures' comforts. Poor Meekins. I don't know any detectives. So if he was a total stranger, why'd you stab him? Sir, I had no intention of killing him, sir. None. Wait, he actually did stab him? Nor do I have any recollection of killing him, sir. At least someone around here is more confused than I am. Interesting. Officer Meekins, this is for you. I'm scared of knives, sir. Last night, sir, that's the one. I was an apple in my dream, sir, and I was being peeled. On second thought, you don't have to look at the knife. He's overreacting to the knife. I guess he's been through a lot. Okay. Is there anything else I want you to look at? You take a look at this? Okay. Pass the buck to Edgeworth. So I can't show him knives. Do you think you could take a look at this? Just blue screen your PC? F. Hey! That's it, sir. That's it. That's it. What's what? My head was a blank until this very moment. But sir, now I remember. I remember, sir. You mean you remember what happened? Correct. That card was the cause of it all. This ID card? Exactly, sir. That's exactly it. Nothing can be more exact, sir. Nothing. You better pry into this one a little deeper. Can you tell me what it is you do remember? No waifus. None. Well, sir, you might say I'm a little lost patrolman, a lost little lamb, if you will. I didn't know Mr. Detective Goodman who was in the evidence room. And that's why you thought he looked suspicious? Sir, I entered the evidence room and asked the man to show me his ID card. That sounds pretty much by the book so far. That's right, sir. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So you asked Detective Goodman to show his ID. What did he do? Suddenly he pointed a knife at me. What? I assure you I was flustered as you are right now. So I whooped and leapt at him. Detective Goodman pointed a knife at him. Do unto others before they do unto you. My father's own words, sir. So he stabbed him because he pointed a knife at him? So what happened then? Well, my eyes, sir. Everything went white. And when I woke, I was here. Right. So, Officer Meekins, why was it that they arrested you? What do you mean, Emma? Well, let's look at what we know. Officer Meekins didn't know Detective Goodman. And the victim whom he met at the scene of the crime didn't show his ID card. In other words, we have no way of knowing if the victim was really the victim. How do you even get approved to be a policeman? The police staff are hard up. And if this body just disappeared from the evidence room, we don't even know if anyone actually died. That's what I wanted to say. I did say something along those lines. Huh? But you still ended up here? They told me that it had to be him, sir. On that day, at that time, Detective Goodman was definitely in the evidence room. That's what they said. But you don't remember the events clearly. No, but the videotape is quite clear. Huh? Videotape? From a security camera. The crime, my crime, the crime I swore to stamp out. It's there. It's me. It's on tape. And you waited until now to tell us? This is what people fucking do. This is the whole game. This line, this sentence could summarize the entire fucking game. So you waited to now to tell us. Water. Wow, I put way too much squirt stuff in that. Holy, that's blue flavored. Wow. That is blue flavored. I'm sorry, really sorry, sir. I'll hand over my badge. I don't deserve it. No, thanks. I have my own. I guess we better go check out the crime scene. If it's Maya getting involved in crimes. True. How do we get out of here? Wait, he's still not here? Where the fuck is this guy? Where's Marshall? What did I miss? You don't think that handprint on the friggin' thing is... Okay. I don't know why, but I feel like this is involved in the murder somehow. I don't know why, but... Let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say he's dancing. Can I take out his batteries? I just can't feel he's going to do something naughty. He does look like a murderer. But this radar is never going to work the game. Nope, we found a handprint on the phone that the game didn't tell us about. Okay, that one we already know. Okay, I think we're all caught up. Is Gumshoe here? Look who's staying at the Chief of Detectives desk. It's Police Chief Nat. Emma's not that bad of a part. I don't mind her, but I like Maya more. And you're sure this is all, You know what that means if there's anything missing. Sir, I'm sure it's most likely totally perfect. I feel like my controller is like actually busted because it's skipping lines. I see. Well, if anything does turn up, you call me right away. Deal? Yes, sir. We'll scour the place again, sir. The Chief of Detectives looks a little flustered. Righto, my boy. How you been? Swim much? Oh, Police Chief Nat. Reporting for duty, sir. Why are you saluting him, Mr. Wright? This is his theme? Really? Is Edgeworth gonna be okay? Oh, Worthy? Oh, you know, they're doing a little inquiry committee with him. You signed on the table? I did not. When did I do that? Sounds like an inquisition. Yep, well, they had no end of trouble with the boys since last year. I mean, the incident on Gourd Lake. Doesn't look good having your top prosecutor sit in the defendant's seat, does it? And you got somehow found guilty in that case, right, Righto? Von Karma. A legend he was, undefeated in his 40-year career. But in court, you fixed it so he was caught for forging evidence. Wait, I didn't do anything wrong. He did forge evidence. In any case, the prosecutor's office is a bit of turmoil, you might say. Why, they do just about anything to restore their reputation. Yeah, depending on what that inquiry committee decides, it could be bad for Worthy. Evil he is. He's a scary guy. It's downright odd, I tell you. The detective getting killed on their turf too, I mean. There being the prosecutors, I assume. Scientifically speaking, it's impossible. Yes, but that's what the evidence is saying. Goodman was stabbed in 2 locations at the same time. That's what it says. I can't believe no one else is putting 2 and 2 together in this. What evidence is this? Now, Righto, I can't give away all of our secrets just like that. And this in particular, well, it's a little sensitive, and I can't talk about it. I wasn't expecting much anyway. You know, one thing I hate most of all is hiding stuff. Secrets. Can't stand them. But you know, it's a full-time job just keeping the chief of detectives trap shut. Yeah, it seems that way. He was the one you were picking on earlier. Huh? You saw that? Oop. Wonder what was he wanted the chief of detectives to do. Let's see if we can kind of discreetly ask him. Do I need to show you anything, I wonder? Go find that guy who can't seem to sit still out there, the busy one. The guy who can't sit still. Does he mean Detective Gumshoe? Either him or the Dancing Blue Badger. Okay, so he's not going to answer any of our questions then, is he? Okay, I'm still going to try everything. I don't think he's going to give us any information, but... yeah, okay, he's a waste of time. Okay. is Gumshoe? Okay, you stay here. Where the fuck is Marshall? Oop. I feel like I'm done down here, right? Edgeworth? Okay. Oh, this place is classy today as it was yesterday. I'm sure it'll still be classy. I'm sure it'll be just as classy tomorrow. Incidentally, Edgeworth isn't here. I hope that's what he's doing. Ah, holy, that's blue. That tasted purple. Okay, I don't see anything in Edwards' office that we need to see. Where am I going then? All right, Lulu. Wait, weren't we supposed to... What exactly did the chief police want to do to you? Or want you to do? I see over there, that's Goodman's desk. You want me to check for anything that might be a clue? They took away every last piece of garbage in the trash can. So nothing belonging to Detective Goodman's still here? Of course not, except for this. You got yourself a late birthday gift? What'd you get yourself? You kept something? Sure, why not? It's not important. Oh my fucking god, these people are the dumbest. He didn't even finish writing it. It's a lost item report, but it's only half complete. Lost item. Did Detective Goodman lose something? The date on it's February 21st. A half-written document dated February 21st can only be submitted to the chief of police. A lawnmower? Tell me you're old without telling me you're old? Are you excited about it, Ace? Can you not wait to mow the lawn now? I should really get back to investigating the police department crime scene. Okay, now Marshall should be there, right? What the fuck? How do I get Marshall to trigger? Huh? I don't understand how to get Marshall to trigger. What have we missed? Perhaps. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. Like, we're done. Oh. Actually, I was wondering if I'd ask you for a favor. I never thought the day would come when Wright asked for me for help. I was wondering if we could investigate the evidence room. You're terrifying. Now, righto. Actually, I'm sorry. I don't need to investigate after all. Righto, please. Do I look like a selfish man? Huh? Heck, if anyone asked me, sir, can I borrow 50 bucks? I'd give them 50 bucks, no problem. So go ahead. Investigate that room to your heart's content. Knock yourself out. You got them swapped? That's good. And for you here, you can borrow this. Hey, this is a detective's ID card, isn't it? That's a special card for guests, so don't lose it. You run along now and do your best. Later, folks. Hehe, it looks pretty cool, my lapple. My lapple? What's a lapple? Chat, what's a lapple? Where's Firefox? Lapple. A strip of cloth that is part of the front of a jacket or coat. It is joined to the collar and folded back onto the chest. A flower was pinned to/in her lapel. There are 3 main types of lapels, including a notch lapel, most common for suits, a peak lapel, used both in suits and tuxedos, and a shawl lapel. I see. It's a pocket? Then why the fuck doesn't she just call it a pocket? This looks pretty good on my coat pocket, right? You seem happy? Yes, sir. Because, sir, we get to go to the evidence room now, sir. This place is a bad influence on the girl. Now Marshall will be there, right? Surely to God. Where the fuck? The evidence room's beyond that door. We have the ID card from Chief Nat. Let's just walk in. It won't open. The card reader's turned off, see? What's that security guard thinking? Howdy, partners. Well, well, what's made of Bambina's sky's so great? I hate that word. I know I'm pronouncing it wrong. Officer Marshall. What's that? Why does it have to be him look for? Let me surmise this here's my saloon. We're here to investigate the crime scene. Yeehaw! That card you got there on your chest. That's better than a sheriff's badge in these parts. Yeehaw? Well, what are you standing there for? Get along, little doggies. The crime scene's awaiting. Looks like the card reader's on again. While we're here, I was wondering if I could ask you some questions. Sorry, cowboy, but I got no mind to tangle with you hombres. You're busy then? Did I say that? I only said I didn't wish to speak with you. Actually, you said you had no mind to tangle with us hombres. What if we give you this? That smell. Ugh, reminds me of Texas. So, Officer Marshall, you're from Texas? No, I just saw a special on television the other day. Is this from my baby? Yeah, Miss Star. What's this? What's wrong? A filet steak lunch. I see, I see. I don't see. I wonder what it means. All right, Bambina, you win. Ask him. Blah, 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 blah. Finally seems like he's willing to talk. Officer Marshall, you're in charge of security for the evidence room, right? You got good eyes, partner. It's an easy job, and I'm grateful for it. Actually, Officer Meekins at the detention center told us. That poor little doggy. Poor guy. I kept getting his name wrong, calling him Meekly. He told us something. He said that when the stabbing occurred, you weren't at your station. Well, maybe I shouldn't be telling you this. But since I got demoted from detective 2 years ago. Well, it might not look it, but I lost my fire for the job, you know? So, what were you doing around 5:15 when the murder took place? Well, I reckon I was galloping down the highway on the back of my steed, Zippy. He was riding down the highway on his horse named Zippy. There's no need for people here anyhow. These newfangled machines do a bang-up job of keeping an eye on the place. The security camera system? I don't take to machines much. Kind of like that stewed broccoli. They sneak in next to your steak, you know? Wait, do they actually do that? How dare they? Miss Starr told us something. She said that you were a detective until 2 years ago. It was always my dream to be a rawhide wrangler on the scene of a crime. It's all gone now, like a drinking hole in a prairie fire. Mm-mm. You're still investigating the SL9 incident, aren't you, with Miss Star? That was my case. It's all solved on the record books, but it still smells like a bad game of poker. I can't let it go. That's all there is to it. What kind of case was it, anyway? We heard the names many times, but no one tells what actually happened. There's some things you're better off not knowing, Bambina. Anyway, the case is officially dead as of 2 days ago. The day of our case. That's right. The evidence transferals. Edgeworth was talking about transferals too. I know maybe 2 of the machines in here do. Only 2 of them? There must be a dozen. Like I said, Bambina, meat machines, well, I like them about as much as I like stewed cauliflower with my steaks. The easiest ones to understand are these here security cameras. Those are the ones Officer Meekins mentioned. If nothing happens, the tapes are automatically erased every few hours. And Officer Meekins and Detective Goodman are on those. Are they on one of those tapes? I reckon they might be. You're the security guard and you reckon? One more thing. When you go in the evidence room, you need an ID card. The card reader leaves a record of ID cards that pass through. So this is the ID card record. Hey, I've seen that somewhere before. Sorry, Bambina. I can't show you more than that. I haven't heard whether this is related to the case yet. I saw a number on that record just now. I've seen that number before. Maybe this is some way I can prove the record's tied to the stabbing. There is, but I'll get to that in a second, I guess. Can you explain what this whole transferal thing is about? We keep only evidence from solved cases in this room. They're kept here under the presiding detective's supervision for 2 years. So we can reinvestigate them if it turns out there was a mistake, see? Up to the evidence after 2 years. It goes to sleep forever in the underground vault at the county sheriff's department. That's what we call transferal. We do it every February. Transferal is like a funeral for old cases. 2 years after a case is solved, it's closed forever, dead. Never to be reopened again, never to be reinvestigated. And that's happened to SL9 2 days ago. See this? This is the victim's ID card. Ah, the one that was on the ground in the parking lot. The number on this is 584-2189. Officer Marshall, show us that ID card record again. It was used at 5:14, right before the stabbing. What's more, there's only one of them cards in the world. So when the incident occurred, Detective Goodman was in the evidence room. Didn't Officer Meekins say that? If he had his ID card then, why would he have pointed a knife at Officer Meekins? Alright, compadre, you win. I guess I can give you this ID card record. I've got an idea. Maybe I should show this to the list of other people with ID cards here. Okay, that's everything we got from him. It's quite... The investigation must be over... Oh, it's quiet. The investigation must be over here. This is the evidence room. It really feels like kind of a graveyard. Graveyard is supposed to have grass and trees. This feels more like a morgue. Nice try, Mr. Wright. You can't scare me. Oh, Gumshoe. Wow. Did she slap him? Sorry, I thought you were a ghost. Wouldn't recommend going around smacking ghosts on the head, pal. So is it true what I heard? They're offering cutaways today. I'm tempting, but I don't think I will. If I take a cutaway, then I'm going to want to play Stellar Blade, and I'd rather play this instead right now. Yeah, it's true. So the chief of police, Nat, will loan anyone $50? Even me? So that's what you're talking about? Actually, I was put in charge of the investigation for today. Just for today? Boss for a day. But guess what? You got permission from the chief, so now you're boss for a day. Gee, thanks. First of all, you want to have this. Scene of the stabbing of a detective at the police department. So Detective Gumshoe, you're boss for the day? That's right, it's an honor. After all, the murder took place right here in the police department. If you're boss, why are you all alone? Where are your underlings? They're using yesterday's findings to prepare for tomorrow's trial. In other words, you got kicked out of the investigation again. I'm adamant, though. I'm going to take control and put this case to rest. In my own evidence locker, pal. You have a locker in here too, detective? Of course. I am a detective, after all. They give me a locker that only I can open. Only you can open. I'll always believe Mr. Edgeworth no matter what happens. So, Mr. Edgeworth is with the inquiry committee right now, right? They're trying to figure out who's responsible for the mess up in court today. I see. I guess it's what you call fate. Mr. Edgeworth just can't get away from that case. That case? Yeah, that case. The SL9 incident, of course. That was the beginning of the end for Mr. Edgeworth. Maybe we can get him to tell us about the case. This place is more high-tech than you might think. Every locker is fixed, only one detective can open it. Using their ID cards? Well, that's the thing, pal. ID cards can be lost. Well, I'm on my third card since entering the force already. That sounds like a lot. Yeah, but even I can't lose my own right hand. Right hand? Oh, you mean your fingerprint? Exactly, pal. The lock for each locker is coded with a fingerprint. So the only locker we can open is our own. Funny, they look like normal lockers. These are the latest model. There's a trick to the handles, see? The handles? On the other side of the handles is a sensor, and if the wrong person touches it, you get a shock. If that's what happened, my hand would be black and smoking every day. So that's what happened to the officer and her sister. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people in the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks. Okay, so that's starting to make sense. Excuse me for a second. There's literally a bloody handprint on this one. Oh, there's lots of blood there. Okay, let's start over here. There's no reason for the murderer to touch this spot if he fled out of the door. This might be something significant. Hey, that's some pretty amazing stuff you got there, pal. What, this? It's called luminal testing fluid. Where'd you get your hands on that? Internet. I like to get some too. I'll just borrow 50 bucks from the chief. Where do you get this, Emma? I always buy it by mail order. Well, better jot this down in the floor plans. Must have been one massive pool of blood. Not professional. What's your opinion, detective? Pale blue blood. Maybe Detective Goodman was actually an alien. It's clear that something really happened in front of this locker. I'll make a note of it on the floor plan. If you want my opinion, you shouldn't have asked. What? What's the matter, detective? This locker's mine. It's yours? Please, you have to help me when they come to take me away. Promise me you'll testify that I wouldn't harm a fly. You'll do that for me, won't you, pals? This is an important clue. I'll jot down the floor plans. Bum, 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 bum. Believe me, you can't trust the police. But you're a detective. That's all the blood, right? Okay. There's something sticking out of here. Looks like a shirt, but I guess it must be evidence for some case. I wonder if Detective Gumshoe put this here. Here you go, pal. Making me out to be some kind of slob. I'm not responsible for the evidence here, that said. But that evidence locker was open recently. How do you know? Do you things hanging out like that, the evidence can get dirty or ripped? The guard checks that kind of stuff out and notifies the detective responsible. How many times I've had him breathing down my neck with some silly evidence? Sounds like Detective Gumshoe leaves evidence hanging out a lot too. But he doesn't tuck his shirt under that trench coat either. I'm gonna talk behind my back. Don't do it. Don't do it right in front of them, pal. Damn, I thought we could use his ID, and then maybe that's the one. That's my personal fishing pole. I never did get around to using it. That's the metal detector. And I don't think I've seen this one before. It's a bug sweeper. Sure will come in handy for solving a case sooner or later. That cheap looking box? You can't judge a person or machine by their cover. You gotta look at their heart. Wow, look at this big pile of junk in the corner. That looks like a car door? There's a pair of handcuffs attached to the frame. Maybe the guy that caught some sort of escape artist and he got away. That's one of those human profiles for range testing. He's been shot square in the forehead. Better him than us. Okay, I think that's everything over here. What's this? Blood? It's a little warm, but there's definitely a handprint here. Looks like someone tried to wipe it off. But there's other blood stains left in the room. We already did. That is already done. What's this? What's a saw and paint doing here? Since the dawn of time, true art has always been a war against oppression. True art. I noticed there's blue and yellow paint here. As we're witnessing the birthplace of the Blue Badger. Well, you might say this is my studio. Here in the evidence room? Look, this one's open, and the red light indicator above it is lit. The locker is coated with Detective Goodman's fingerprint. Are you sure it's okay to leave it open like that? It'll be hard to get it open again if we close it. It's empty. They must have taken the contents elsewhere. Someone must have broken someone must have broken something big to make all these pieces. Detective Gumshoe, perhaps? There you go, making me out to be some kind of hooligan. That's apparently from the case. The case? SL9 instant, pal. See the sticker on one of the pieces there? Another piece of the SL9 incident. I wonder what shape these pieces were before whatever it was broke. Oh, should I put it back together? Good luck, pal. That's no job for amateurs. Well, I spent a good 3 hours on that before I had to give up. Oh, fuck me. There's literally blood on it. Oh, I got a rotate. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. It's only going to get easier the farther we go. Okay. I lied, it's going to get harder. What the hell? I'm working over here. Huh? No. We're missing a piece. Aww. Well, I think we did it, but there's some pieces are missing. Yeah, I got that far in 2 minutes myself. The problem is finishing it. Some pieces were stolen, but they're missing to begin with. Still, it does look kind of like it does look like the most stable kind of jar. I kind of understand how it got broken. Jar pieced back together from fragments found at the crime scene. A piece is missing. Okay, that's everything. Gumshoe. I need to show you stuff, but I don't know what yet. Can you take a look at this? This is the ID card record of the people who came in here on the day of the stabbing. Oh, I've heard the rumors. That second number. It's not your ID number, is it, detective? It's Edgeworth. Belongs to Mr. Edgeworth. Let me say one thing speaking as a detective. If I see a piece of evidence I know nothing about, I say nothing. Okay. That's fine. Detective Goodman's note and that switchblade knife. I bet Edgeworth was the most surprised of anyone. Because of the SL9 connection? That was Mr. Edgeworth's first big case, you know, 2 years ago. That was the first time the world knew Edgeworth was a man to be feared. Why would evidence from that case turn up now? I guess it's not over, pal. Maybe there are some loose ends left on that case. That was me, don't worry. You can't open the lock because your fingerprint doesn't match. If you can open it, they'll give you 50 cents. No, the police department lacks faith in its lock system. After all, Detective Goodman was stabbed in here after opening his locker. But at the same time, he was found dead over at the prosecutor's office. Okay, those are together. Now that was a bloody violent case. Violent? What? So it was a murder? A serial killing. Maybe I don't want to get involved with this after all. But the killer made a mistake, and Mr. Edgeworth built his case around that to nab him. Could be two different people, and I don't. Perhaps, but I don't think so. I think he was murdered here and then taken to. We'll see. That put Mr. Edgeworth right in the spotlight and started the rumors about the forged evidence. It's supposed to be all cleaned up with the file transfer the other day. It was the last job he ever did. Detective Goodman's, that is. What do you mean? Detective Goodman was the detective in charge of the SL9 incident case, see? The victim took the knife out of the evidence locker himself. There's nothing else we can show you, right? We have so much evidence for this case. This is crazy. I think we're done here. I don't think there's anything else I can show him. That's the King of Prosecutors Award. Okay. Aw. They said it was shameful or something like that. Okay, those two we did. Okay, I think we got everything we can out of Gumshoe. We've examined everything we can here. Oh. Someone left a glove here, but only one. Back to Gumshoe, maybe? There you go. Why are we always picking a Gumshoe? That's evidence from the case, you know. Tagged evidence from the SL9 incident. Extremely thin rubber glove. It's just that Mr. Edgeworth's inquiry committee should be letting out soon. I'm going to go give him my report for the day. It might help, you know. Report? You mean the note written on the back of that flyer? The one that says nothing but no problems? Hey, it's Mr. Edgeworth talking about. I'm sure you can use a report like this. I believe in him. You need enemies and you got friends like Detective Gumshoe. I'm off, pal. Later. Try to see what Edgeworth has to say, too. Okay. Bum, bum, bum. I kind of wish it just like listed out all the places we can go instead of having to go from place to place. Hey, hey, don't you run a hotel now? Oh, it's you. Huh, Mr. Edgeworth? I beg your leave. So long. Is Edgeworth here? There, standing by the window, with a teacup in his hand. Right. Is the hotel bringing him tea service? You're back from the district prosecutor's office inquiry? I am. By the way, Detective Gumshoe was looking for you. Oh, yes. He brought me the latest information, it seems. Really? It was helpful? Apparently, a new French restaurant's opening near here. I think he was trying to console me somehow. The real info's on the other side, Edgeworth. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I think this whole thing's taking a real toll on him. So how'd the inquiry committee go? Actually, they decided to treat this not as a case of concealing evidence, but as a communications error during the investigation. Yes, apparently there are some who believe that I concealed evidence. They gave me a warning. You were lucky this time. Again. I've heard them say that so many times. Ever since that case 2 years ago. Are you okay for the trial tomorrow? I'm still the presiding prosecuting attorney. However, something happened? They gave control of the investigation over to the police department. Yes, any further investigation of this case will be directed by the chief of police, Nat. I can do nothing but wait for his results. I see. Why? I ask you, why? All along, I've done only what I believe is right. I have nothing to be ashamed of. But still. Okay. What can we show Edgeworth? Oh, right. I better check this now. As I was saying, What's this? A record of ID card usage? Edgeworth, you went to the evidence room that day, didn't you? Just before the incident occurred, no less. Yes, that's true. Please don't look at me like that. I was asked to go by Chief Nat, no less. He wanted evidence for a case that wrapped up half a year ago. He told me he wanted to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. But it's solved, right? It would have to be the evidence it would have to be if the evidence was already filed. The chief is never one to explain himself. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here. I can't say. It really has nothing to do with the current case. Now I'm curious about this other case. I better make note of it. Evidence from a past case of Edgeworth's brought back to his office by Nat's request. Stubborn as always. I told you this has nothing to do with the current case. I think it does. Have a good sleep, Mr. All Calamity. Ow. Right, please. I'm the prosecutor in this case. You don't expect me to sit here and discuss the case with you over a cup of tea. I'll pass on the tea. Just tell me about the case. Mr. Edward just told you no in a very polite manner. Can you look in Discord? I can. Oh, yeah, that'll work. That'll do. Which side are you on anyway? Maybe I just show him my best evidence. I can get a reaction out of him. Best evidence. Time to head to bed. Have a good sleep, Ace. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Enjoy your lawnmower, old man. Oh shit. I wish this game had a fucking log history. I figured I'd be telling you about this sooner or later. Okay, Ezra, why don't you tell me about it? Tell me the truth. Allegations of forgery. The SL9 incident was a heinous serial killing case. The head of the investigation was the deputy chief of police at the time, Damon Nat. That wacky old coup was involved in the case 2 years ago then. He was a top officer, and it was my very first time working with him. I was very nervous. What I want to know is why a deputy chief of police was on the investigation. In truth, I used slightly more extreme methods than normal. We were dealing with a vicious murderer. If I let him go, the blood would be on my hands. We won our guilty verdict and the killer was executed. Of course not. I didn't touch the evidence. Yes, I will do anything in my power to win a trial. However, I do have a code and I follow it faithfully. By the way, Emma, the chief prosecutor wanted to know something. If you were still studying forensic science. Yeah, of course. Why, just today, Mr. Wright and I were using this. Luminol testing fluid, Well then, you might have use for this. Aluminum powder for taking fingerprints. It's been chemically treated for better adhesion. For me? Are you sure? We're the enemy, you know. I have no say in today's investigation. Do as you will. No need to thank me. Here, take your powder and these fingerprint files for everyone involved. Thanks. How about giving these Detective Gumshoe as well? Recovers fingerprints from handprints for comparison with the fingerprint file. Excuse me. Well, let's get going. One last investigation. Right. I do seem to remember seeing a suspicious handprint somewhere. English, I'm good at it. It's my first language. I know it better than anyone. I'm the best at English. When's the next piece of fox art dropping? I get fox art? When did I get some fox art? When was the last piece of fox art? Yo, I want fox art. Our investigation turned up a suspicious handprint. Hey, yeah, Pokey, how you doing, friendo? Choose a finger. A finger? Each finger leaves behind a slightly different fingerprint. So let's choose the finger that will leave behind the clearest fingerprint. You fine? That's good. Quite Quit procrastinating and choose a finger. This one. Okay, now it's time to check for prints. Let me show you how it's done. First, we sprinkle the aluminum powder around with the X button. See? It looks like that. Looks like that did the trick. The aluminum powder adheres completely to the print. Once the powder is well spread, just blow away the excess. The triangle button. Imagine you're blowing up the candles on a birthday cake. See? It looks like fun. It's fine. It won't go in. It won't go up your nose or anything. You just pour the powder on thick and blow away the extra. Those are the basics of fingerprinting. You did it. I did. You found one. But this looks nothing like a fingerprint. Now you mention it, I guess it doesn't. What does that mean? I think it means we're out of luck. They're wearing a glove. Out of luck. The person who left this fingerprint must have worn gloves. Don't tell me we're wasting our time here. Let's calm down. That's just the way it goes sometimes with scientific investigations. But it does seem a shame. While we're at it, why don't we look for other prints? Looking at the locker door again closely. Seems there are fingerprints outside the bloody handprint as well. Let's see if we can find a clear print. Science. Oh, do I need to dust more? My bad. How is that not good enough? What? That's literally a fingerprint. Science or speedium medium? Speedium medium? I like this. I like Maya more than I like Emma. Anyway, this print took a lot of effort to find. Let's match it up right away. There's no point in finding a fingerprint and not knowing who the owner is, right? Speedium medium, yeah. Let's look at the fingerprint data we got from Mr. Edgeworth. Are you putting methods? I mean, science is the way to go, I guess. And point out that person you think left these prints. How am I supposed to know who it was? I can make a pretty good guess. The bloody handprint and the fingerprint are in different places, right? That means the prints probably don't have anything to do with our case. So whose fingerprints will we most likely find in this evidence locker? So these prints belong to Detective Gumshoe. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You gave me this so what look. I guess that's probably because I was thinking, so what? Okay, so he came up with nothing this time, but there's always next time. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss. You gotta roll with the punches, Mr. Wright. Thanks for the sympathy. Wait, if I remember correctly, there was one other handprint in this room. Let's check it out. Check for prints. I have to warn you about something first. The area with the blood was wiped away, right? We only ended up finding using chemical means. Any print in that area will have been wiped away too. So that means no prints. Would you say the probability of hypothesis is high? Don't ask me. Anyway, we must try to find prints that weren't wiped away. I was just spamming X over it and I found something? These fingerprints say... Whose are they? Whose? Is it someone I know? It's Officer Marshall. Found on a bloody handprint left in the evidence room. The print had been wiped away. That's gotta be a coincidence. He's not involved in the crime. This is decidedly different from Detective Gumshoe's prints. Luminol reaction. The blood and the fingerprints are in the same place. So we have Jake Marshall's fingerprints on a wiped blood stain. But why would Officer Marshall... Looks like our investigation's finally turning up some results. I guess it's what you'd call decisive evidence. Alright, do we have time for the court case? Trial. Wait, is this our last day in the trial? We only get 3 days, right? So we're done after today. This is it. Right? So what do you think, Mr. Wright? I think the prosecution's as confused as we are. After all, the victim was murdered in 2 different places at the same time. And a different suspect was arrested at each of the crime scenes. Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday. I was indisposed. Probably didn't hold you for too long for questioning. We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though. So how'd it go? As Mr. Wright suspects, the police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain. What do you mean by that? We agreed that if I told them the truth behind this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't seek capital punishment. That's what I mean. Don't tell me you... Much to my regret, I'm as much in the dark about this as they are. We found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department's evidence room. They belong to Officer Jake Marshall. What kind of trace evidence? Blood-stained fingerprints, to be exact. That's the trump card I have up my sleeve today. You do understand what this means, don't you? In order to defend my sister, you're going to accuse Mr. Marshall? You have to play the cards we're dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Sky? Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright. I will! The court is now in session for a trial of Miss Lena Sky. Prosecution's... I'm afraid you'll have to clarify. It takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office. Yet the victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain at both places at the same time. But that's not physically possible, is it? What's more, I hear the victims from the evidence room just disappeared. and the blood eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. This is one messed up trial. One of my duties as prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today I will present evidence relating to the murder at the police department. Oh god, I got another Discord message. In doing so, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself. He sounds so on top of things. Even though he doesn't know what's going on himself. And that's supposed to be admirable trait. Very well. Let the trial resume. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness of the day to the stand. Hup. For its first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department. And the so-called murderer? Oh boy. Come on, Edgeworth. Today's the day, buddy. You'll get a name and occupation, I believe. Yes, sir. I'm Officer Mike Meekins, sir. My occupation is, that would be murderer, sir. So you're telling us you're a professional killer? Sir, it was me, sir. I'm the one who did it. I'll never kill anyone again, sir. You gotta believe me, sir. I'm what you call part of the younger generation, sir. A person whose actions adults can't possibly comprehend. Please, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Please help me, sir. Officer Meekins. Yes, sir. Give us your report of the crime. Consider that an order. As you wish, sir. After all, I'm part of a generation that must be told what to do, sir. That feels really... Alright. I mean, you can't fault him for his lack of enthusiasm. Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man in the security screen and rushed into the room. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life, and then I did it. After that, I passed out, until another officer smacked me awake. So the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you. Do unto others before they do unto you. That's the Meekins family motto, sir. I see. Then you fainted and a colleague helped you regain consciousness. He knocked me upside the head, sir. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. What I need here is more info to work with. Push everything. Mr. Meekins, you work in the General Affairs Department, do you not? I'm in charge of hiring new recruits, sir. Yikes. Now, there's a scary thought. The evidence transferal was taking place on the day of the crime, which means many officers were given special tasks not ordinarily performed. I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir. The Blue Badger? Yes, sir. The lovely police mascot created by Chief of the Detectives, sir. That thing's a fucking murderer, man. That's possessed. I was ensured that it wasn't broken during the transferal process. That was my sole mission for the day, sir. Wait, it didn't have a handprint on it that time. I see. Sounds like a very important mission. After the awards ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around that I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. Oh, so that's why you went to the evidence room. Tell us, what did you see when you got up there? In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct? Precisely, sir. I have one right here around my neck. So then, your ID number should be listed on here, right? you please read us the number? It's 4989596. That's my number, sir. Let's see. But the number 4989596 is shown being used twice. Please explain, witness. It's no real mystery, sir. The first time is when I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. And the second time is when I wanted to get him after everything settled down. I see. So it was during that second time when... Yes, sir. That was when I spotted the man on the security screen. So you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you? It was a knife, sir, a knife. Detective Goodman pulled a knife on you. What happened then? Well, with me and charging in on him he looked as surprised as I was. You're exactly the kind of person you'd want to run into. That's when I reacted, sir. I swung my arms like an octopus, struggling to detain him. That's how I got this gash on my hand. If you just keep your cool, your hand wouldn't be... I saw the blood trickling down my arm. I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar. What exactly do you mean when you say you did it? I know I don't look like the type, but I'm really into kung fu films, sir. The man let his guard down for an instant, so I snatched his knife from him. You took his knife? I spun around and performed a disarming maneuver. I made sure to close my eyes like a man. I see. The next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in a sea of my blood, and then... The next thing I knew, he punched me right in the face, sir. After that, I passed out. At what time did you regain consciousness? No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that? I was unconscious. Oh, right. According to the report from the officer that woke up the witness, it was about 5:30. He hit me right in the head, too. I woke up crying tears of pain. That's nice. I mean, it's nice that you recovered, that is. When I came around, though, I made sure to finish my mission, sir. Your mission? Yes, sir. The Blue Badger, sir. That's why there's a handprint on him now. I returned him to the entrance before things got out of hand. Well, we can rest easy now. I believe we now have a fairly accurate picture of what happened. Yes, Your Honor. Only one thing remains unclear. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim? He's got a point. With regards to that, sir, take a look at this. It was sent to my jail cell. Chief Nat delivered it to me just this morning. The chief delivered it? What is that? A videotape? Yes, sir. That's absolutely right, sir. A videotape, sir. It contains footage from the security camera in the evidence room. What? But I was specifically asked if there was such a tape, and I was told it had mistakenly been erased. That's quite a mistake. I just do what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at. Looks like communication within police departments is as good as ever. Well then, let's have a look. Show us the video of you murdering the victim. Oh, please stop using that word murder, sir. It scares me. A video of real murder. Just what are we getting ourselves into? I knew it was him. But the handprint's already there. Also, why is this security camera at like chest level? Wow, it's fully animated too. Holy shit. We didn't see him leave, though. Wow, he got his ass kicked. We didn't see anyone leave. I love that pose. Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred within us? What the hell was that reeling piece of plywood? Sir, that's the pride and joy of the entire criminal affairs department, sir. It's the Blue Badger, sir. Why am I not surprised this isn't going smoothly? Yes, well, anyway. This tape seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter someone. Oh, fucking controller. Your Honor, instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage... Can I... No, I had to press... I had to press X. Fuck. The witness's testimony will suffice. Is that alright with you, Officer Meekins? Yes, sir. As you wish, sir. Oh, wait, I actually was just meant to push everything then? Okay. His face can't be clearly seen in the video. But there's no question that other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker. So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it. Did he unlock it, or was it already open? What's this about a fingerprint? Each detective has given a locker equipped with a fingerprint-activated lock. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to. Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have to be Detective Goodman. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. I don't know where this cross-examination will lead, but everything begins with contradictions. That's right at the start. Was it already unlocked is what I want to see. The light is on, so it's already unlocked in this photo, or in the video. You don't know that for sure, do you? You never actually saw Detective Goodman's face. Well, I suppose you might say that. That is, if you must label people as have being seen or not seen it. Since his face cannot be identified in the video, only you can verify it. Why is everyone looking at me? If I had to label your stares as disturbing or... Meekins. Having been shown a questionable video at best, we are not in the best of moods. Now, please be more certain when you testify. You claim the man who brandished a knife on you was Bruce Goodman. Tell us why you're positive it was him. I feel like this is wrong. I feel like this is where our contradiction is. About these lockers, is there no other way to open them? No, sir. I tried myself. I myself tried all the kinds of methods in the past. They only respond to registered fingerprints, sir. If the man opened the locker's lock, which only responds to the registered fingerprint, then it must be the person the locker was assigned to. How do you know that information? I've heard rumors, sir, from people in the know, sir. People in the know. The workers in the department cafeteria, sir. They keep me well informed. They also listen to my romantic troubles, sir. For the record, the open locker did indeed belong to Detective Goodman. I verified this information through a more reliable source. So the victim opened the locker with his own fingerprint. However, the most important detail in this video is... not shown in this video, the man's face. If I may say something, sir. Please do. After all, you're the one being examined. I don't understand why the man's face is so important in this case, sir. I mean, it was his hand that opened the fingerprint lock. And it was his hand that tried to thrust the knife into my body, sir. My unsettled state can testify enough to this, sir. You have a point. The footage doesn't lie. That is, unless the defense can find a problem with it, I can. There's a problem. Regarding the video contained on this tape. Murder was the cardboard thing? That's what I'm saying, dude. It totally is. There's one thing in particular that seems rather strange. This contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not have been Detective Goodman. Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal. I propose we have the defense point out to us this alleged contradiction in the video. You'd want me to point it out. Very well. Proposition accepted. Our proposal accepted. Let us further inspect this piece of evidence. I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us this contradiction you speak of. It's set up so you can fast forward, rewind, or pause the video. Just take a good look and be sure to point out the right thing. How did this guy ever become a police officer? Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Where is the contradiction? I feel like it's just skipping things now. Take that! The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Officer Meekins. Do you mean me, sir? As I understand it, the locker apparatus works like this. When you grab the handle, a sensor reads your fingerprint. If it's a match, the light turns on and the lock is released. According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir. If so, then something's seriously wrong with this picture. That thing's so fucking creepy. When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker, let's rewind to a little earlier. Can you rewind a little faster? Oh. I like it. Up. Here, notice the light? It's already lit. Precisely my point, Your Honor. The blue badger unlocked the locker. He's framing Detective Goodman. I'm on to that cardboard piece of shit, dude. Precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle. It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime. But the locker locks, oh my god. But the locker locks are controlled by an electronic system. When a door is shut, a sensor is triggered, and the locker is automatically locked. It must have been broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert on this. It's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunction. Just go to show novices to keep their mouth shut. So then, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation? Me, Your Honor? Yes. Why wasn't the locker locked? Me, Your Honor? Yeah, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator? Huh? Oh, maybe something like jam the system sensor? Something? Jam the sensor? Say, there's something else that seems out of place in this video. Yeah, I thought so too. There's got to be another clue in this footage. Very well, let's inspect the video once more. Chat? What's the other thing in this video? The cardboard? No, the cardboard guy's... I joke about him, but he's fine. He's not a murderer. Is it the glove? Is it the glove? Perhaps? Maybe? Please watch closely. This is the continuation of the part I showed you earlier. It's spooky. It's spookier without the music. What's this? Something white fell out of the locker. The glove was holding the locker open. But sir, it's been my experience that things fall out of doors that are open. I often fall... Oh my god, no one gives a shit. Thank you. We can't be sure that item was completely inside the locker to begin with. What do you mean? The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door? This white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor. Ugh, Meekins, you're the worst. I felt pity for you, but now I don't like you at all. But the object would have to be extremely thin to fit in the door. Not only that, it would also have to block electrical currents. It would need to be an insulator. Meekins just trying to make it relatable. I don't like him. There just may have been something that fits the description. I think I finally got this figured out. Very well. Will the defense please present the relevant evidence? What was the insulator that was stuck in the locker door? Glove. I found this near the locker, a thin rubber glove. We can't be sure that the victim's locker... It has the tag... It has a tag that says SL9... I keep saying SL6. SL9 incident. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker. Oh my god, why is it skipping so much? I really, really wish this game had a friggin' log. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is this not so, Officer Meekins? It would appear so, sir. You pitied him? Disgusting. So we are to believe then that the victim, whom this witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman. Don't be misled, Your Honor. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? The defense has merely demonstrated the possibility and nothing more. The victim in this video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this. Officer Meekins, please testify about this. Sir, me, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. Oh, you mean that, sir? Of course, sir. Is this a joke? Very well, begin your testimony. There's one other thing that proves that the man was Detective Goodman, sir. To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had used this card. That's it? An ID record card. I see. I have the ID record right here, Your Honor. The ID card used at 5:14 is that of the victim. Just before the crime, Yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transferal. Why are there so few people using this room? This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases. Special cases. Extremely violent cases involving police staff. There were only a few cases up for transferal there, and most were cleaned up by noon. Right, I see. Now let's move on to cross-examination. That's all we get? $221. So, unlike your earlier testimony, you believe this to be rock solid, do you? Yes, sir. Solid as stone, sir. If my hand wasn't wrapped in bandages, I'd even give a V for victory sign, sir. Can he just use his right hand for that? As you've seen, one never knows what he might say until the very last second. Yep. Is that card hanging from your neck one of those ID cards? Yes, sir. This card right next to me, right next to my cuff, sir. I keep it here so I won't ever forget. What if someone were to steal it from you, keeping it out in the open like that? Maybe I shouldn't wear it around my neck. Remember when I said 2 out of 3 times my tie gets stuck in the car because I get... Let me get some water. Remember when I said 2 out of 3 times my tie gets stuck when I get out of the car? I agree. Your Honor. Well, the remaining time is my ID card that gets stuck. At any rate, each police officer only has 1 ID card. Both the police department and the prosecution office can attest to this. So this guy just can't leave the car. No. Let it be noted that this is the record to the witness. Oh my God. Thank God stream's almost over. Let it be noted that this is the record the witness referred to. It would be Detective Goodman. What's the matter? According to this, Mr. Edgeworth, your name is on here. So it is, Your Honor. Poor Edgeworth, dude. Mommy, is that man in blue a murderer? Don't stare at him. You got the wrong color, kid. It would seem the inquiry committee will want to speak with you again today. I have nothing to be ashamed regarding my actions or their consequences. For now, let us continue with this cross-examination. Now the kid's correct. Earlier, I believe you testified that when you asked the man to show his ID card, he pulled a knife out on you. Yes, sir. He didn't show me any cards, sir. Don't you think that's odd? I mean, if he had his ID card, all he had to do was show it to you. There wouldn't be any reason to draw a knife. Maybe he just panicked? Everything stems from contradictions. Let's point them out. I am confused. The problem with this ID card testimony is far too obvious. It's not like Ezra to miss something like this. You're thinking too hard about it. Come on, let's show them what we got. Phoenix is the murderer? Phoenix isn't the murderer. Okay, so Goodman lost his ID card, and he was filling out a form to request a new one. But I got interrupted. The only problem is, where do I put that? Here? Right? Don't say, Your Honor. Wait one moment, Officer Meekins. Nice. I'm not good at waiting, sir. I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene. That makes sense? When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene. The underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card. Lost item report. It's only half completed. But it shows Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report. Let me guess. You believe this something is to be his ID card, correct? You can't say for sure, but there's a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card. So now, what does this all mean? It can only mean one thing. It doesn't even require much thought. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card. Oh, it's fucking what's-his-nuts. Right? It has to be. I have only one thing to say to the defense. What's his nuts? It's the cowboy. Because the cowboy is something out for not Meekins. For the detective, right? And he was meant to be at the security station that day. That explains why he's not there. Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime, the man in the evidence room Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright? Yeah. What's he up to? That being the case, you must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also a fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder. That is... Well, I guess that's right. Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago you seemed confident to be pointing your finger around. This isn't going to end well. Well. It seems you finally realized exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove. The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in the video is a fake, which means a murder did not take place. Not take place at the police department at 5:15 of the day of the crime. So, the real crime can only take place in one location, the underground parking lot. And oh my god, I wish you stopped doing that. The murderer being Miss Lena Sky, the defendant. The evidence is compelling. Compelling? Compelling. A trustworthy witness observed the moment the defendant used the murder weapon. I knew that testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning. The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly the victim Officer Meekins encountered? And where did this person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman. Just so, Your Honor. I'm supposed to get myself out of this mess. By objecting. One moment, Your Honor. What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to just... Don't tell me you're objecting to... Help. Help me. Help. 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 Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven. Of course not. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap. What are you talking about? This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murderer. Or did not show the actual murder. How about that? You missed. It didn't help at all. I gotta pee. God damn, that thing's creepy. However, it cannot be said that it is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Go pee-pee? No, I have like 2 minutes left to stream, so we're good. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination to the truth of the matter. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. If this court were to examine this further, will other witnesses be... Oh, Jesus Christ, help me. If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses will be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared? I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any witnesses for this incident. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand. Your Honor, the defense would like to request a specific witness. Oh? Who do you have in mind? Someone we have a reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room. The prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply. Very well, then Mr. Wright. This person whom you would have testify, what is his or her name? Officer Jake Marshall. Why him? I can't let Edgeworth know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say. The prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare. Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witnesses... Oh my god. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is... subpoenaed? Right? That's a word. Subpoena? Subpoena? Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time? We will, Your Honor. The court is now in recess. Yes. Excellent. I English well. There's no stopping you now, is there, Mr. Wright? Hmm? What do you mean? You called for Jake Marshall. It seems you figured everything out. I haven't figured out anything. Lena, you're the one who knows everything. You always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright's trying his hardest to protect you. I don't recall ever asking for his protection. How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me? Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Hey, Gumshoe. Oh, yes I am. I'll come back later. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run around while on duty. And top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Sorry, detective. You better be, pal. Hey, hey, hey! Hey, hey! I didn't see you there, Chief Prosecutor Sky. That's okay. So, have you brought what I asked? Oh. Oh, 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 oh. You mean this, right? Ah, Cusco's poison. The poison for Cusco. Cusco's poison. The poison made specifically to kill Cusco. That poison? Yes, that poison. I apologize, Detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request. My name? Never in a million years I thought it was you who asked me. Could I bother you to bring the SL9 incident files? I'll need them by noon. Talking about crazy. The SL9 incident. Elena, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here. You might do well to read them. I can't believe you, the chief prosecutor, are a witness in that case. This guy was a witness? Files for the Joe Dark killings solved 2 years ago. Take it from me. You don't want anything to do with the serial murderers. Oh, what? Now that I brought your stuff, you're just going to ignore me? Emma? But why? Why is your name in here? What? My name's in there? I don't know. Unless... No, it couldn't be. Lena, this SL9 incident, is that... That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as the Joe... Dark? I'm gonna go with Dark. The Joe Dark killings. The Joe Dark. No, Lena, that's over with. That's when her parents died. You know what? I just remembered. I gotta be somewhere. Sorry, pal. I'm out of here. Bye, Gumshoe. Jake Marshall, Angel Sar, Damon Nat, and Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lena and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence. Knowing you just might figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck. Better take a good look at this file. To be continued. All right, that's where we're going to stop for the day. Bum ba dum bum bum.